Alright, I'm actually pretty excited for this because, to be honest, I've always wanted to try out something like this, and it always sounded like a fun idea to like tell a story of like D&D or something like that. So I worked my hardest like trying to make some sort of like drawing animation or something just to make the video look a little better. I know I'm not the best drawer. I'm just learning like animation. I've not gotten good at it yet, so I do apologize for that. I just wanted to do this because I thought it'd be fun. So I did have a lot of fun making it, and I'm really excited to actually just, start doing this. I hope it actually does pretty well, but I don't know. I'll just have to see. Because I spent time in it, and I was just like really interested in doing it. So anyway, I am a D&D player, obviously, so that's pretty obvious by this. Well, my first story is probably going to be a two-parter because I just want to, just tell the story and, see how it goes, like I said. But this is a story that actually happened recently when I was playing some Dungeons & Dragons. I was actually DMing this, and I had two friends that were playing this, and one was playing a Goliath and one was playing an elf, and I also had a ranger in my party. So actually it was a thief. Why am I thinking this is really recently? I'm kind of not thinking right, I guess. But anyway, this is just to basically explain whatever the title of the video is going to be, is me trying to teach them. They are not very familiar with the D&D landscape. I was just trying to teach them some bit of like how I like to play D&D, or how you try to, where you're just not doing intimidation checks or constantly asking people if they want oral pleasure so you can get further in the game. I might talk about that later in the story because that sometimes happens. Anyway, our story begins with a nice Goliath. So this certain player wanted some new armor for the character, and of course Goliaths are kind of rare in my world, so that's going to be some good information to know and will be helpful later. So he decides he wants to go get some armor. Of course, you know what I'm saying. He's about 8 feet tall. Pretty strong. Like I said, that's some good information to know for later. Anyway, he goes and meets this blacksmith that, inside this nice little place, his home, his place of business. He says he wants some, like, the best armor he has, all right? It's like steel set of armor. It's a small town, so it was like a set of steel plated armor. It's not like the best armor, but it's, like I said, it's a small town, and they're fairly low leveled, so, it'd be pretty darn good, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, he shows it, and he just kind of like gives him the general gist of the price, and he just agrees to it. So he goes ahead and says, come in the back, and takes his measurements and such. And what this guy does, tries to do, is tries to intimidate him. And this dwarf, he's a big, he's been through some shit, of course. You could just tell. I explained this to him, trying to, help out a little, because they're new players, that this might not go as well as planned. Because he's looks like experienced. I think I actually mentioned he was a previous adventurer before. But anyway, he tries to do that. Gets kicked out of the store because this dwarf does not want to deal with that stuff. Because he's trying to be like lowballing him for like, was some more expensive armor. Like, it was not cheap, all right? Especially at their level. So it was just basically like he's just going to lowball him, at his business. So he's like, get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, this does not go too well with him. So he decides to go in the back, look for a boulder. But first, he looks for a window, of course, to see if there's a way to break in. Of course, there is a window. He goes and grabs a rock. Some guards are like, What are you doing?" And he's just like, "I'm sitting on a boulder." And somehow the guards believed him. It's, you know how D&D works. I'm like, whenever those rolls happen, I'm like, of course. But that's what makes D&D fun. So anyway, as we continue, he breaks in. Like I said, these rolls were kind of weird because neither the dwarves or any guards or anyone around noticed that he broke the window. This shop was located on the outside of town, but it's not. It's like there was some buildings very close to it, so it was, a good chance that they would get caught. So anyway, what actually happens is he gets. This is the best part. He rolls a 1, so he basically I just basically said he just flops into the building. Everyone is alerted. That's in there. The dwarf is. So the blacksmith just comes out, immediately starts attacking him. He thinks his character's overpowered, so he tries to take him on. This did not go well because the dwarf just grabbed one of his swords that he happened to be working on, and just started going into town, and he just got destroyed. So this is where the other players come in. So she was playing as an elf, and she's like, this is taking him too long because he's like, she was told the plan. And so she talks to the other character, the thief and rogue, whatever you want to call him. I think he's just rogue, whatever. But anyway, agrees to go rescue him, which they do rescue him. And, because the dwarf, what he does is he leaves to go notify the guards. And, of course, he leaves him knocked out there. So they decided to go grab him and, basically run for it. Which is kind of interesting because he is pretty big since he's a Goliath. But I guess the actual ranger, not the ranger, the rogue, he's a bit of a higher level. He's a pretty decent strength. And he was able to help pretty well. So it was somehow worked out fine. So anyway, they just ran out to the woods and, got him back in order. But this is not where the story ends, of course. She goes and tries to pick up the armor that he was working on. So this is the tricky part that they did not figure out yet. So I said when this video comes out, they have to check it out because this is what happened. So exactly what happened was kind of funny. Well, there isn't many Goliaths in town, and rumors spread. And what happened was that he figured out that the elf was with the Goliath. So she's like, when she came in, and of course she's asking for Goliath armor, and she's like 4 feet tall. So it's kind of like, that's kind of confusing when there's only like one Goliath in town. So it's like, so what he does is he had this suit of like just fake prop armor, basically, just to get the fittings right before he actually does the actual thing. So they are very unskilled. He actually made this look really good like it and gave it to her, which he tried to sell it to her for the full price, but she tried lowballing her again, and that's why he wanted to do it even more. She bluffed him and gave him like 20 gold, and it was like it was really expensive. It was like, I think like 400, 500 gold. So yeah, she bluffed him, and she obviously failed, but she didn't know it at the time. So that's exactly what happened, and he got the armor. And that's pretty much it for the first part of the story. How he sucked their, how it actually it actually got revealed is gonna go in another story, because there's like actually another big part of this that happened. Well, they leave the town and they actually come back to the town. So I'm gonna try to do that. But I just wanted to do this because it was kind of fun. But like I said, there's gonna be part 2, and I was just kind of excited to do this. So that's just a simple little story. A lot of things are going to change probably because I'm just going to try to get better and better. But this was actually pretty fun, and I'll see you guys later.